Hey everyone, it's Anthony from CS 1301, and today we're going to be talking about how to write, run, and submit your homework assignments. The first thing we want to do is to open up our Canvas page so that we can grab all the necessary materials we need to get started. Once you're on Canvas, you want to head to the Assignments tab, and once you get there, it should list out all the homework assignments that you have for this week. When we click into an assignment, we'll be presented with three different links. One, to go to the PDF containing all of the instructions for this assignment, one to download the Python skeleton file with all of the starter code to get us started, and one to the Gradescope submission link. Now I'm going to demo how to write our homeworks. So now I'm going to show you how to fill out your homework assignment and test your code. I've gone ahead and downloaded an example skeleton file and an example homework PDF containing all of the instructions that we need to get started. I recommend that you read this PDF very thoroughly before you begin, as it'll contain all of the helpful information that you need to know to get started and finish your assignment. When you scroll down far enough, you can see all the descriptions regarding all the functions that you have to implement for this assignment. For an example, this very first function that we have to implement is called listen, and for listen we have to ask the user how many songs they listen to, how many podcasts they listen to, and then print out a statement regarding that. For demo purposes, I'm just going to fill this in right now, but I encourage you to pause the video and try this yourself for extra practice. Awesome, so now I've gone ahead and filled in this function for you guys. And now we can go about testing it. So how do we test it? First we want to save our script. And once we've saved, now we have the ability to run it. We can go up to Run and click Run Module, and it'll open up the shell for us. And as you can see, even though we've ran our script, nothing actually gets displayed because we haven't called any ref functions yet. So this is where the shell comes in. We want to test our code in the shell by running our functions as many times as we want and providing different types of inputs. We can run our function by calling it, and when we call it, we're prompted to provide some input. So I can say I've listened to 12 songs and 9 podcasts, and it'll tell me exactly how many hours and minutes I've spent on this. This is great, and now we can test it using different inputs. We can call it again and put in different numbers, and it'll spit out something different. So this is essentially how we test our homework. We want to make sure that our functions apply and still work to many different types of inputs. And now I'm going to show you how to submit your homework assignment once you're done. So once you've completed your assignment and you're ready to submit, you can hop on over to Gradescope to submit it. First, let's describe what Gradescope is. Gradescope is simply just an educational tool that we use to make grading your assignments easier, and it's how we can automatically grade your assignments and get feedback to you immediately. It's not actually used in the professional world unless you're an educator, and therefore it should not be used to debug your code. But before we begin, let's kind of describe what Gradescope is doing. Earlier we showed you how to run your code and test it through different inputs, but Gradescope will do this automatically by running your code through a series of different inputs and seeing how your code compares to the expected answer. So, when you're ready, you can hop over to Gradescope and test it out. Once you're over in Gradescope, you can click into the class and see a list of all the assignments available for that class. Here we have Homework 01, and we're going to submit the code that we just wrote into this assignment. We can submit by clicking this, and then it'll prompt us to drag and drop or submit a file from your computer. And I'm going to go ahead and submit the homework 1 that we just filled out. When you're ready, you want to click Upload, and then it'll automatically grade your assignment after a couple of minutes. Once the autograder has finished running, you'll probably see something very similar to this on your screen. On the right-hand side, you'll see the autograder score, your failed test cases, and your passed test cases. This autograder score is going to be the score that you receive if you keep it this way once the due date has passed. But you can continue to submit your assignment an unlimited number of times on Gradescope until you achieve the score that you want. If you want to know why you failed these test cases, you can click on one of them and it will bring you to the output provided by Gradescope. And here I'll show you how to read this output. So when you fail a test case, it'll tell you exactly which test case you failed as well as how many points it's worth. Not only that, but it'll tell you your output and the expected output. So it'll say your output does not equal, and then the expected output. But when the output is very long, they'll put it on separate lines to show you the differences between the two. So here, the line with the minus sign will be your output, the line with the plus sign will be the expected output, and then the third line with the question mark will be a line where all the different areas where your answers differ will be shown. So here you can see my answer was by listening to 15 songs and 8 podcasts, but the expected answer was by listening to 15 songs and 8 podcasts. So you can see here our answers differ right here, and we're missing an S in our final answer, and that's an easy fix. We also have these things in Gradescope called hidden test cases, where it'll show you that you failed a test case and it'll show you how many points that test case was worth, but it won't tell you what the expected answer would be. And this is to kind of get you thinking about what different inputs might be provided to your code and how you can actually write code that passes any input that's given to it. So that's all I have for you guys on how to write, run, and submit your homework assignments. If you guys are still confused about Gradescope, we have a wonderful handout on the Canvas page regarding all the different errors that you might see on Gradescope and how to deal with them. So go ahead and check that out, and if you find this helpful, go ahead and share this video with your classmates so that they can also get this helpful information. Thanks!